Hi, everybody. Welcome to Bench Racing. My name is Steve Hansen. Today's topic is kind of going back to the Martinsville race. We had Chase Elliott winning the Cup side and Justin Allgaier winning the O'Reilly's Auto Parts Series race on Saturday. And having watched both races, there was strategy involved, there was luck involved, there was a lot of follow the leader stuff. And guys, to start off with, I mean, to me, Martinsville has led to this kind of racing over the years, and there's some that said, oh my God, it was mind numbing and boring and all this yada stuff. And it to me. And again, I'm an old race fan. I'm an old racer and all that kind of stuff, everybody. But to me, this is largely what you have at times. It's like, I believe Mark Martin said a week or so ago, not every race is going to be riveted, flag to flag, mind-tingling excitement. It's just when you have these races that last 250, 400, 500 laps, and especially on small tracks, there's times where it levels out and it's kind of, everybody does their strategic parts of whatever they have laid out for the day. So in that aspect of it, in both races, I rather enjoy some of that stuff. It's not, to me, a lot of fun when you have cars knocking each other around and causing mindless frickin' lap after lap after lap of caution flags while they clean up a mess. I mean, the bump and run and things like that is part of short track racing, and having been a part of that, I understand it, and that I like to see. But the other part of all this that still grinds on me, to be brutally honest, is the fact that when you have a track like Martinsville, which is not by any stretch a super speedway, and you still have drivers and crew chiefs and such talking about getting in clean air. And I mean, I just watched Dale Jr.'s podcast here a while ago, and he touched on that. He looked forward to going to Martinsville and, roughing up a little bit, not getting carried away, but the aero part didn't matter when you had the steel bodies. And I know that O'Reilly's and the truck series still have steel bodies on them, but damn it, people, I'm getting tired of every frickin' time it gets to be a talking point that we have this clean air aero thing come in. I get the way the Cup cars are constructed, and you got the slab underneath, and the way they're kit cars and all this stuff. I get that, but NASCAR has built up to and trying to revive a situation, and I keep seeing all of the professionals on TV saying, "Well, they're never going to get away from the Cup car." If y'all remember this, remember when the COT car come out with that duck bill and that god-awful freaking spoiler on there, and this was the new face of NASCAR, and this is what our cars are going to look like? Got rid of that pretty quick because they were a pile of shit. And most all of the drivers and people that worked on them told them that. Okay, well, that was that. So I hope down the road that some common sense with NASCAR is that they fix this Cup car so that it's not quite so aero dependent and stuff. But again, I realize that they've talked about clean air and all that stuff for a few years now with all three series. But I hope that we don't go down that path where they're always aero dependent. And I also heard, and I hope this isn't true, that the O'Reillys and the Craftsman truck are going to go to composite bodies, and much like they have with the Cup cars and all this stuff. Man, I hope they don't do that. To me, that's going to kill the sport more than anything. But the other part of my video today, everybody, was this. in that I seen watched a little bit of Mark Martin, and he's calling for more short tracks over some of the other venues that we have out there. Yes, I would like to see Rockingham come back, and Darlington, of course, has stayed there. But my question is, if we have short track racing, what kind of short track racing are we going to have? I mean, there's conjecture whether Martinsville should have 2 dates. There's conjecture whether Bristol should have 2 races. Richmond is considered a short track, so those are the three short tracks that we have in NASCAR right now, the upper divisions of NASCAR. So my question, quite honestly, is, okay, if we're going to, Iowa comes to mind too. I believe they consider that a short track. So excuse me, there's 4. But that being said, if we have more short track races, where are we going to go for those venues, and what quality of racing will we have for that? Because in some retrospect, or in some respects, everybody, something's going to have to be fixed, because by and large, the fan base that's out there does not want to sit here and watch for 3 hours of people going around a small racetrack with no action going on. And that's where this stage break stuff comes in, and everybody thinks that we need stage breaks to bunch them back up. They didn't used to have those, and I get with the points and all that kind of stuff that the stages are probably here to stay. I wish in some venues we did not have the caution flag stage breaks, but as I have said before, have the stages and award those points, but don't stop the race for it. That being said, my point to wrap this up is I would like to see more short tracks over road courses, but it's like I told you after COTA. After watching the COTA race, you've got super speedway and short track things all involved with that, in that, I mean, you have people knocking each other out of the way and all that kind of stuff. So point being is, if we're going to have more short track races, I wouldn't mind seeing that, because while we have a venue of road course races, I think we're getting kind of too far down that road for NASCAR. Okay, for NASCAR. We have a plethora of other divisions that go race all over the country on all kinds of road courses and street courses. But I am sick to death of trying to make NASCAR into that. Okay? With that, everybody, that's kind of my topic for the day. Do we want to see more short tracks? And if so, where and what kind of racing do we want to see? Respond right here. If they like the stream, the channel, please give a subscription. Trying to get the channel growing and talk about more racing. And I promise the next topic I have in coming out the Friday will not have anything to do with NASCAR. So with that, have a great day, everybody, and always remember, it's better to have raced and went broke than to have never raced at all. Take care.